Hi guys! So this is the second episode for the series. For this video, we'll discuss about environmental awareness. So I've listed here a few questions about climate change to end common misconceptions, which is important to be addressed because it's taking away the light that must be directed on mitigating the effects of climate change.
So let's begin with the question, what is climate change?
So to define climate change, we have to differentiate first weather and climate. So weather, it refers to short-term changes in the atmosphere. Even though there's only one atmosphere on Earth, the weather isn't the same all around the world. Weather is different in different parts of the world, and it changes over minutes, hours, days, and weeks. Then climate, on the other hand, describes what the weather is like over a long period of time in a specific area. Different regions can have different climates as well. So if weather only takes a short time to change, the climate, in contrast, changes over longer time frames. So climate change, so we can now define climate change is. So climate change, it is simply defined as a significant variation of average weather conditions. These conditions, say for example, becoming warmer, wetter, or drier. And it happens over several decades or more. Another concern regarding on climate change.
Why is climate change considered as a problem?
Climate change, actually, in a matter of fact, is naturally instigated by continental drift, volcanoes, tilting of Earth, ocean currents, and even by the sun's intensity. What's making climate change into a problem is for the reason that it is happening too fast and there's no telling of regulation any moment now. We can trace back in 1950s where the Industrial Revolution took off. It was said that at that time it caused a spike of carbon dioxide emission and it haven't stopped ever since, which led to scientists to believe that human activities, there's 95% probabilities that human activities prompt climate change to worsen. So these human activities that we're referring to, examples are farming livestock, which releases methane, biomass burning, deforestation, mining, logging. Another is the use of commercial fertilizers, and a lot more that happens, or a lot more that we do, caused by what we do in our day-to-day lives. All of these activities cause a release of greenhouse gases, such as carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and methane, among others, which prevent heat from being reflected back into space, and which alternately causing a high increase of temperature here on Earth. So in conclusion, the problem regarding climate change is the fact that it is happening too fast and out of hand. The problem is not because of the existence of climate change.
Next, is climate change a global issue?
The answer is yes. Climate change is a global issue. Definitely, certainly. Why? The effects of climate change are exceptionally deadly. The warming of Earth is melting glaciers, which in turn is causing the rise in sea level. And that's when displacement and climate refugees follows. The rising of oceans is projected to wipe out several island nations, and what's worse is these island countries are mostly those that are poor and underdeveloped, and they have nowhere to run to when the oceans continuously rise. Unlike the countries which is at the very least has mountains to relocate to. Another is the excessive warming of Earth is also the reason behind extreme weather events and even longer and frequent drought. Moreover, the areas where we grow our plants and where animals live is being degraded or is degraded, and clean water supplies are diminished, which is directly posing health risks such as heart disease and lung cancer among many others. As we're left to drink dirty water and inhale toxic gases that are trapped in our atmosphere, those gases that I've mentioned earlier. Climate change should be considered as a global issue, most especially because it does not affect one, it affects everybody. And what's even maddening about this is that the destitute and marginalized are even the ones to suffer the most when they have the lowest carbon footprints. So climate change is a global issue. So the last concern that we have here regarding climate change is the question,
can humans stop climate change?
So I've said earlier, climate change is initially natural causes, and it is still. So the answer is no. Humans can never stop climate change. Rather, humans can lessen the effects of climate change. If the world would massively minimize carbon emissions today, this instant, for the numerous coming years, we would still feel the effects of climate change from the thousands of years of bad human activities. But the good thing in that is, we'd surely get favorable results compared to what we are currently experiencing now. So it is very important to act today. Act now. Save Earth. So that concludes our episode 2, the misconceptions surrounding climate change in order to better preserve or protect our environment. Please treat our nature with care. So that's it. Goodbye!